And who is that?
Terence Crawford. That's it. You know, I'm 41-0 for a reason.
Our job is to line it up. And us fighters, we're warriors. We always want to.
Floyd Mayweather has sent a warning to Crawford following the heated debate about who would win between them. Mayweather made it clear that his message is a caution against chasing something that no longer exists. He explained that Crawford might be chasing a ghost because the version of Mayweather who ruled the sport retired on his own terms, and he's not about to let anyone rewrite that story.
Me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Floyd told Smith that boxing isn't just about who's stronger right now, it's about who ruled the stage when it truly mattered. In Floyd's view, Crawford entering his mid-30s is too late to seek a fight that should have happened back when it could have generated the biggest numbers.
I think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
That message came during a heated debate on Stephen A. Smith's platform, where Floyd sat across from Crawford in a rare face-to-face exchange that instantly captured the boxing world's attention. Mayweather remained calm, but the weight of his words was undeniable. He essentially told Crawford, "You can win all you want, even beat the guys I never fought, but you're still not rewriting my history." With that statement, Floyd kept the spotlight firmly on his own era while subtly reminding Crawford that he showed up too late to share the ring with him.
I don't want to lose because now society has shaped things to where if a fighter lose, they talk so bad about, oh, he's a bum. I knew he was overrated. Oh, y'all hyped him up, and now they got to hear it. But back in the day, they didn't have social media. You know what I mean? So all that wasn't in.
But this isn't just about two fighters talking past each other. It's about how fans, fighters, and analysts are now taking sides in the debate. Even current boxers like Ryan Garcia have joined the discussion, adding more fuel to the fire. Garcia, who's never been shy about speaking his mind, had some sharp words for Mayweather during a recent segment on *Ring magazine's Inside the Ring Star, when LaShawn McCoy, the former NFL running back, said that nobody had changed the game like Floyd Mayweather. Garcia quickly interrupted, saying, "In a bad way." According to Garcia, Floyd didn't just master boxing inside the ropes, he mastered the business of timing. He accused Mayweather of carefully choosing his opponents, waiting until fighters like Pacquiao or Cotto were past the peak of their primes. He never fought anybody really in their prime after junior lightweight, Garcia said, arguing that Floyd's perfection came more from perfect matchmaking than perfect fighting. For Garcia, that's where boxing took a wrong turn, because after Mayweather, too many fighters started protecting their undefeated record instead of chasing the toughest challenges.
Acting like Bud is the second coming of Mayweather, y'all got the game fucked up. Mayweather actually didn't get hit. Bud gets hit by dudes that, like, who on Bud's resume is an equivalent of someone on Floyd's resume? So that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Floyd not getting hit by elites, Bud getting hit by non-elites, and somehow y'all think Canelo not about to touch him.
That's where Max Kellerman stepped in with his own perspective. Known as one of the sharpest voices in boxing media, Kellerman broke down why Crawford might actually have a stronger case for legacy than Floyd, depending on how you view it. He explained that Mayweather carefully picked his opponents, especially after moving up from lightweight. So, while Floyd's resume is stacked with big names, fans also remember that he avoided certain fighters at specific times. Crawford, on the other hand, has shown a different attitude. Even though his resume might not be as deep in some areas, Kellerman pointed out that Crawford consistently wanted to fight everyone, anytime. And to many people, that makes a big difference.
Listen, man, Floyd didn't fight him, and Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the same.
On the other hand, Crawford's list of opponents might not be as extensive, but the intent behind his fights tells a different story. He never cared about perfect timing. He took on Sean Porter when Porter was still a dangerous challenge for anyone. He dominated Errol Spence at 35 years old and stunned the world by defeating Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight. Crawford's issue was never about avoiding fights, it was that promoters and networks avoided him star. As a high-risk, low-reward fighter under top rank, he spent years chasing marquee matchups that never came together. By the time he finally secured the showdown with Spence, he was already deep into his 30s.
Back at like Floyd career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight, and that's what led him to be so great. You know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, you know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy.
Now, at 38, Crawford remains undefeated with a record of 42-0, holding undisputed titles across 3 weight divisions and victories over opponents like Gamboa, Postal, Jeff Horn, Porter, Spence, and Alvarez. However, compared to Mayweather's 50 wins, the numbers still lean in Floyd's favor. 8 fewer victories might not sound like much, but in the legacy conversation, every number matters. Still, Crawford holds one card Floyd never played, moving into a 6th weight class. If he drops down to middleweight and captures a title there, he'll accomplish something Mayweather never even attempted. Floyd stopped at 154, and while he made plenty of history in that range, he never chased 6 divisions. Crawford's determination to keep taking on bigger challenges might be the one thing that truly shifts the debate.
A fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed?
The timing of their eras adds another layer to the story. Crawford captured his first world title in 2014, just a year before Floyd defeated Pacquiao and then Andre Berto to close out his career. The overlap was brief, but it existed. If Floyd had stayed active a little longer, the fight might have happened. By that point, though, Mayweather was already playing defense with his legacy, not offense. And that's exactly what he was saying on Stephen A. Smith's show. Don't ask me now if it was ever going to happen. It would have been when the money was highest and the interest was at its peak. That time has passed, and so have the IFS. Crawford's victories today don't pull Floyd back into the ring.
That mimic some of the things that Sugar Ray did. So does Terence. And Terence is psychologically a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the same kind of capacity to be charming, and then in the next 30 seconds to turn on his fire. And that, I think, is part of what he's going to take into the ring against Canelo.
That hasn't stopped fans from imagining a head-to-head showdown. Mayweather at 147 was a defensive genius, nearly impossible to hit clean and masterful at breaking opponents down round by round. He went 12-0 at welterweight between the ages of 28 and 38, controlling the division for an entire decade. Crawford at 147, on the other hand, brought a different kind of danger. He was more explosive, a switch hitter with knockout power and a natural mean streak. He went 8-0 in just 5 years, finishing most of his opponents in dominant fashion. He's taller, longer, and more adaptable in both stance and style.
Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out.
Yeah,
you know
that's true. But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else?
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
got a pioneer, right?
Yeah, you gotta. There's an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere, and I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure out.
In a mythical matchup, Crawford's size and aggression would have tested Mayweather's defense in ways few opponents ever could. Some fans compare it to how Paul Williams, another tall, high-volume welterweight, was once considered a stylistic nightmare for Floyd, which many believe is why that fight never materialized. Add Crawford's adaptability and his dangerous southpaw power, and it's easy to see why many think Mayweather might have finally had to sweat to protect his undefeated record.
Crawford wasn't running from him. He was, he was very confident that he could stand there and trade, a lot of times with Canelo.
Crawford fought a brilliant fight. He fought a brilliant fight. He stayed at the right range. He didn't engage with Canelo when Canelo was trying to get him to engage with him. And he took control of the fight. He did what he wanted when he wanted.
But Mayweather's defenders argue that his style was built to neutralize aggression. He wasn't just fast and slick, he was efficient. He didn't need to throw 70 punches per round, he only needed to land the right 25 and make you miss 50. Against Crawford, who thrives on switching tempo and rhythm mid-fight, Floyd might have found ways to frustrate him, much like he did to Canelo in 2013 or Ricky Hatton in 2007. But there's also the matter of stage control. Mayweather was the pay-per-view king, the fighter who could command entire weekends with his bouts. Crawford never reached that level of global pull, even after dominating Spence and Canelo. Floyd's grip on boxing wasn't just about skill, it was about control, deciding when, where, and how fights happened. Crawford, despite all his greatness, never had that power. So, if this fight could actually happen, who do you think would win?
wrong. That's what I said. Why are you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not be the greatest fighter in the existence of boxing? Like, Bivol was the only dude to beat 2 undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol, historically, might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, I mean, Crawford might have surpassed TBE